No.
Welcome. Okay, move to return from executive session.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. Okay, public hearing for the tax budget. Ken? We have to open, do you open it or
I've
I
got
open
all
it?
kind of
I open it?
papers here.
Okay,
No.
You can open it.
okay, I open the public hearing for the 2024 tax budget.
Okay. As I've said so many years in a row, the tax budget to me is not something that I like to do. Hamilton County requires it, not other counties do. But I have to say, after going through it again every year, I say it is a worthwhile thing. It familiarizes you with what happened last year and whatever. Thankfully, this year, the department heads and Vicki had a lot of input. I put numbers down that I thought were going to be indicative of what we were going to spend next year. Relied on Vicki and other people to say, no, we have other projects going on. As you know, right now, we have a lot of projects going on for 2023. Whether those get completed or not this year, we're assuming they will be completed, and we're putting that into the 2024 tax budget. But it's very helpful to have that input from the department heads. Vicki, her staff, my staff have been very helpful, and we've plugged in numbers that I think are good estimates. They will change as we go into next year and adopt our permanent budget for 2024, but you have a copy of that in front of you. I've made some notes about some of the I wouldn't say problems, some of the differences that you might see. And as I go through fund by fund, general fund is always big, public works is always big. We have increases in the sheriff's department because the contract is up for renewal. We're not quite sure what they're going to be, but we think they're going to be a little bit higher than what we predicted or estimated for this year. And I will mention that right now, this year, those the sheriff's contracts and payments are right on target what we thought they would be. But obviously, everybody's increasing their cost, and inflation is having an effect. As you're all aware of, the fire and rescue department has done an excellent job over the years. We've kept the cost down as much as we could. We are now in the process of having to adjust some salaries for 2023 and 2024. If we don't do that, then we're not competitive. Chief Martin has made some suggestions, and we're in the process, if you agree, Chief, we're in the process of hiring some new people this year and next year, and you'll see that those numbers have increased considerably. It's for public safety, it's necessary. If we don't do that, we fall behind and we don't get the quality people that we've been able to get lately. So the other area, which is always fluctuating, is our TIF fund from 1994. This year we hit it pretty hard because we had all kind of projects going on, the gateways and all the things going on down around Kellogg Avenue. So there's actually a decrease in the TIF funding simply because we're not going to have as many projects next year. And if we get them all done this year, we'll be pretty much on target for next year. And that's why you see a decrease of approximately $3 million in the TIF budget. The school district distribution is very complicated. because we had the reappraisal coming up, we had the levy coming up. How much money are they really going to get? And I went to Vicki today, actually, I said, I'm not sure, and I went over my numbers, and I think what we have to understand, there's almost a $7 million increase in the school districts, millages. How does that translate across the board with what we have to pay them? It doesn't translate to like a 7 to 14% increase. It translates to like a 5% increase because they're also adding that total to the total county millage. So I think we're pretty close on that. And as we know from years ago and over the years, this budget will change in January, February, March of next year. But we're doing estimates the best we can and trying to come as close as we can. And then we have a few areas where if you see differences, obviously the Kellogg Avenue intersections and all the things going on down there, we projected spending $3.8 million this year. Next year, that's a big reduction. We're like $3.6 million for next year. Hopefully we'll get all that done this year. If we don't, we'll have to transfer that money over and encumber the money. So just trying to point out some of the areas where we're a little bit different. We have the American Rescue Plan. That's money that we plan to spend this year. We have nothing in that for next year, so that's a minus $2.3 million. And as we go down, that's about all the major changes. And if you add it all up, it comes out to be about $6.8 billion less for next year's budget than it is for this year's budget.
Million,
That-
million, right?
That's
Yeah,
assuming
yeah.
we get everything done this year, okay?
It sounded like you said billion. I want to make sure
It did
people.
for a second.
Did I say
Well, I was like, want to make clear, it's million, yeah,
million?
yeah.
And
Not
that's-
billion.
It's a good budget.
It's fine.
Hopefully that'll happen. And our history is that it does happen, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
Those are the numbers. Any questions on, we went into the TIF projections for the next 3 or 4 years, which Vicki and I worked on. The final document that goes down to the county after we approve this are the last 3 years, okay? I should say the last 3 years in 2001, 2002, 2003, which we have to balance out. And then 2024 will be the budget that we had dropped this year. We will fill this form out and file that at the county auditor's office. We are ahead of the game right now.
Nice.
We have a couple weeks to get that down there. Hopefully we can get on it next week and send it down to the county auditor and get it approved, so.
okay, thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Like I say, this is an open hearing. Does anybody have any comments, about the budget? Thank you, Ken. That was very thorough. Appreciate it. Okay, so we will close the public hearing. Seeing no comments, we're going to close the public hearing, and we have a resolution.
I move to adopt the resolution approving and adopting the 2024 tax budget and authorizing its filing with the Hamilton County Budget Commission.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay, let's see. Public forum. Individuals who wish to address the board should state their name and address for the record, make their points as clearly and concisely as possible, and limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes, which may not be shared with or yielded to others. All comments shall be directed to the Board of Township Trustees. Thank you in advance for your comments. Anyone? Okay. Trustee comments.
I have a lot to say, but I'll say it on Facebook.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. I was out of town with my family, so this year I missed the history and garden tour, but I just wanted to say thank you to Paul and Sarah for all the hard work, and to the We Thrive Committee. And Lindsay and Susan volunteered to help make sure everything went smoothly. And there were also tree committees that helped at the Arboretum, and some hosted locations on the tour. So very nice to see the community come together for that. And that's all that I really had.
And that was going to be my same comments. I did go to the garden tour,
Did
and
you?
it was awesome.
It's
We had
always
some
so nice.
really beautiful gardens this year.
Very nice.
We have some very talented gardeners. So,
Mhm.
and just thanks all the gardeners and that open up their home and let people walk through their yards. It's very generous. So, yes, and thank you staff for putting that on. Okay, and one other thing. I just want to mark this time in history. The Reds are in first place. FC is,
Yes.
I think, in first place or whatever, and we have the Bengals. So let's just mark this moment in history because it may never happen again. So everybody,
That's right.
like, remember where you were. Okay,
How do you know
what?
where we are?
I'm just going by what they say in the news, Ken.
There we go.
Okay, Ken, financial reports.
Yes. You have the financial reports. As usual, this time of year, our appropriations and expenses are less than what they projected to be for the whole year. That usually catches up in the later months when the contracts come in and we make our payments. The revenues, we're starting to get in the real estate tax monies right now, which are our main source of revenues. Of course, right now, in June, we're already getting advances, so we're above what we project, but when that levels off toward the end of the year, obviously those payments will stop in August, and we'll get our final settlements. So it looks like we've underestimated the revenue slightly, which is what we try to do. You know, we try to be conservative, so we should be on target for those. We do not have any appropriation changes at this time. And then I think we have the set of minutes from our planning meeting, which it was a long meeting, so we kind of shortened the minutes, and Katie's back there, and we went over them, and couldn't add anything more to them or delete anything, so.
All right,
Katie's doing a good job on them, so.
Good.
thank you,
Thank you, Katie.
Katie. I move to approve the minutes for May 4th and 5th, 2023.
Second.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Margaret, Law Director, do you have anything?
No report.
Thank you. Paul, Planning and Zoning.
Good evening. The first item under our department is a resolution for your consideration for 1980 Flintshire Court. There's a picture that is being passed around. This is for nuisance abatement for tall grass under Ohio Revised Code 505.87.
I think this qualifies.
I do too.
I'll be happy to answer any questions on that one if you.
I move to adopt a resolution determining existence of nuisance on land owned by Heather Schaffner located at 1980 Flintshire Court in Anderson Township and providing for notice and remediation pursuant to ORC Section 505.87.
Second.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. The next item under our agenda, I'm happy to report that last June, we brought the idea of having an art plan implementation steering team before the board, and you were very supportive of having a committee to help implement our plan. The plan was adopted in late June, and this was new to the township, and it has been a work in progress of the best way to do implementation. We have taken recommendations from the plan, encouraged private developers to implement art. We've also looked at different ways that we can implement art, but we felt that a steering team was needed to really help guide the plan and help to develop the work plan over the upcoming years. So Ms. Stone, Ms. Earhart, and Ms. Donovan conducted interviews on June the 2nd, and we have 4 members that we're recommending for appointment. And I don't know if you all had anything to add. I did not participate in the interviews.
No, I think we had a great balance among the candidates. They each brought something unique to the table. They each, not only different perspective, but coming from different areas of the country and coming to
Very
Anderson
nice.
Township. So I think it
Love
was
it.
a good mix.
Yeah, it was.
That's what you want with this kind of steering committee,
Yeah.
so we can get some good ideas and well-rounded feedback. Very nice. Okay. I move to appoint Amy Keller, Vikas Srivastava, Jacqueline Picton, and Susan Wheatley to the Anderson Township Art Plan Implementation Steering Team.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Watson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
you. Sheriff's Office? No report? Okay, fine. Public Works, no. Fire and Rescue?
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you this evening? The fire department only has one item. It's a request for authorization to sell PPE, and that's personal protective equipment. It's considered to be the firefighting ensemble, the coat, the pants, and the liners of both. What's happened is we have an individual who has worked with us for about 20 years. He has driven down every day or every third day from northeast Columbus. So he has a job opportunity up there with the Intel plant going in, which is adjacent to where he lives. He's moving up there, he's taking a job up there, and his fire gear is no benefit to us. It's specifically fit to each firefighter. We don't have any belief that we will be hiring somebody that will fit into this gear, and the gear costs us $4,000. We're getting $3,500, and it's 2 years into its 10-year life. So we're getting essentially what it is worth on the market from his new employer, and we're just
And he
seeking.
gets on the ground running.
And he hits the ground running.
Basically, he's taking his gear with him.
Yes,
Great.
basically.
Okay.
The Anderson things will be taken off, but one of the important things is the fire gear is about 3 or 4 months out now. Once you get measured for it, you don't get it for 3 or 4 months in a good situation. So benefits both of us, and we wish him all luck. He's been a good employee for us, and there's a resolution for your consideration relative to selling that gear to his new employer, Harlem Township.
Yeah, that's a haul.
Yes.
That's quite the commute. Okay, thank you. I move to adopt the resolution authorizing the sale of surplus equipment to Harlem Township, Delaware County, Ohio, pursuant to a contract authorized by Section 505.101 of the revised code.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Watson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes?
Thank you.
Chief,
Thank
I'd
you.
like to make a comment. The payroll system's about 6 months in. It's been new. In the beginning, we had some blips and everything, and I would just like your opinion, and my office opinion is it's working out just fine. Administration's working together, and it seems like the last payroll we had just went smoothly.
Well, I just asked Katie tonight how it was going.
Yeah.
Because it's only after all the pay records are in that we kind of find out how it's doing. But it's doing well. You know, it seems like we're refining it every pay period. So we're getting it down to a fine edge, and yeah, it's working out well.
Good.
We're getting there.
And the fiscal office and administration, anything that goes wrong, we want to know about it. But
Absolutely.
I think it's going smoothly.
We talk pretty regularly about it. We had several meetings recently just to make sure that Katie and Michelle
Katie
are,
knows payroll?
yeah, quite a bit, quite a bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Vicki?
Yes, Mr. Magna has the first item.
Oh, you get a long one.
Good evening. What I have here tonight is a motion to award the Little Dry Run Road and Lawyer Road Sidewalk Improvement Project. On June 7th, the Administration Department opened bids for the Little Dry Run Road and Lawyer Road Sidewalk Improvements Project. The bid results are attached. The published estimate for the work was $485,000, and the recommended bid total is $465,394.50. The department reviewed the bid for content and completeness to establish the best and lowest responsive bidder. Based on this analysis, I recommend award of the project to Rack and Bollier Excavating Company in the amount of $465,000 $394.50. Furthermore, a 10% contingency of $46,539.45 is recommended to cover unforeseen conditions outside the scope of the original work. 1994 TIF and road and bridge funds exist in purchase orders from 2020 and 2022, which will cover the costs. I can answer any questions, and again, you have a motion for your consideration.
And the 50
So moved.
Come on, you have
Can we do that?
You got to read all of it.
I think our law director would prefer you read it.
Margaret? Move to adopt. I move that this board hereby accepts the bid of $465,394.50 from Rack and Bollier Excavating Company, Inc., deemed to be the lowest and responsive bidder for the Little Dry Run Road and Lawyer Road sidewalk improvement project in accordance with the bid plans and specifications, together with a 10% contingency for a maximum appropriation of $511,933.95 from funds currently secured in purchase orders using 1994 TIF and road and bridge funds. Further, this board hereby authorizes and directs the township administrator to give timely notice of award to the contractor and, after consultation with the law director, to enter into a contract with Rack and Bollier Excavating Company, Inc., in accordance with their bid for the Little Dry Run Road and Lawyer Road sidewalk improvements project.
Second.
Mr. Garth.
Yes.
Mrs. Ralston.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Josh.
Very nice.
Mr. Severs is up next.
Okay. Mr. Severs?
Good evening. I do have two items for consideration tonight. For the last about 7 months, we've been working on soliciting proposals from qualified engineering design firms for relooking at our Operations Center campus on Beachmont Avenue. That process netted seven qualifications packages that were submitted. The township staff ultimately interviewed 3 firms, and before you we have a motion that would authorize the township administrator to enter into contract with MSA Design for a preliminary study of the Operations Center campus. Again, this is just a preliminary work, but it will give us a sense moving forward on what aspects of that site may need improvements in the coming years. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those, and do appreciate our entire staff, departments, management team, et cetera, that have been involved in this process. So.
Thank you. I move to authorize the township administrator to enter into contract with the MSA Group following review by the law director for a preliminary study of the Anderson Township Operations Center in an amount not to exceed $76,900, as well as a 10% contingency of $7,690 using 1994 TIF funds allocated for Operations Center improvements.
Second.
Mr. Garth.
Yes.
Mrs. Ralston.
Yes.
Mrs. Stone.
Yes.
Thank you. Second item I have is pertaining to Interstate 275 and 5 Mile Road interchange. As Mr. Dietz was talking about earlier, we have a significant project starting up down at Kellogg Avenue with our gateway into the entertainment district, and I'm sure once that project takes hold and is completed, maybe around this time next year, folks will be asking the question, what about 5 Mile? So we're trying to be ahead of that. We have a proposal that's before you. This is the same firm, the Kleinger's Group, that did work for us down at 275 in Kellogg. Looking both at this is interchange design, but also will then provide the foundation for perhaps enhancement work here from that. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those. But again, this is the preliminary work to do some traffic counts and modeling on modifying that interchange.
I move to authorize the township administrator to enter into a contract with the Kleinger's Group following review by the law director for preliminary study of the I-275 and 5 Mile Road interchanges in an amount not to exceed $16,800, as well as a 10% contingency of $1,680 using 1994 TIF funds allocated for improvements for the 5 Mile or Beachmont area.
Second.
Mr. Garth.
Yes.
Mrs. Ralston.
Yes.
Mrs. Stone.
Yes.
Roundabout.
Thank you.
What?
Roundabout?
Just saying.
I'm a fan.
Just saying. Makes sense.
Okay, who's next?
I'll bring it home here with the last 3 items. The next 2 involve our banking services that are provided to the township. Every 5 years, the board is required to designate public depositories of the public monies of the township. There is a process whereby the board would authorize me to solicit applications for banking services, and that would be from financial institutions that maintain a full-service office within Anderson Township. The proposal would be that applications have to be submitted by July 10th at 11 a.m. I will work with the fiscal office to review those applications and determine what we would like to recommend to the board for our banking services for the next 5 years. Our current depository, which is with Huntington Bank, expires on August 31st. So there is a resolution before you that would start the process of soliciting applications.
Thank you. I move to adopt the resolution authorizing and directing the Township Administrator to solicit applications for the provision of depository banking services to Anderson Township.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. The next resolution, which involves estimating inactive deposits of public monies, has to be reported 3 weeks prior to when the board selects a public depository. So we are reporting that we have 0 inactive deposits. There is a resolution before you that would confirm that. I would ask for your consideration.
I move to adopt the resolution estimating inactive deposits of public monies of Anderson Township.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. The last is a request to prepare or to sign a First Amendment to our agreement with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office for Police Protection Services. And what this amendment would do is authorize a contractual arrangement whereby the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office provides 10 additional flock cameras in Anderson Township. The county currently has 6 in the township that they will continue to provide and pay for. Flock cameras, for the public's information, are automatic license plate readers. They allow law enforcement to share information across state and local boundaries. The cameras are placed in public areas where there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. They're on public roadways. They're plainly visible. And they are not used. These are not red light cameras. These are not for traffic enforcement. These are used to help identify vehicles that have been involved in some sort of situation, whether it's an accident, whether it is a missing person, could be a missing senior, it could be a missing child, whatever the case may be. It's an extra enforcement tool for the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. And the board saw a presentation of what the flock cameras are capable of during its planning meeting earlier this year. They are excellent at taking photographs of vehicles, whether it's in low light or it's evening or daylight. And we had a recent example in May, mid-May. There was an accident, and the accident victim was assaulted by the at-fault motorist. So there was enough information that was provided by the victim to enter this into the flock camera system. Flock camera can get to the point where it says, okay, the victim says there was a black pickup truck. And so the camera system will look for the black the black pickup truck. And then maybe the victim says, oh yeah, they had ladders on the top of the truck, or there was a logo on the back of the truck, and the logo was, of a bird or something along those lines. And the flock camera system can continue to narrow that down to track that particular vehicle. And then law enforcement can act accordingly based on the information that they have. So it is a very high-tech system. It is being utilized throughout the country. A lot of different jurisdictions in Hamilton County have utilized this. Again, there are currently 6 located in Anderson Township. After discussion with the board, we would like to expand that so there's a total of 16. And this First Amendment to our contract will allow that to happen, with the township being billed for 10 of those cameras through our contractual arrangement.
Move to adopt a resolution approving and authorizing a First Amendment to the Agreement for Police Protection Services to provide for the utilization of flock cameras in the township and authorizing the execution and delivery of said First Amendment by the Township Administrator.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was very impressed with the presentation. I had lots of questions, obviously, about the red light, like how exactly it would be used. And I was just impressed with the picture, the clarity and all lighting, but also the access to that network of data and how seamlessly we were able to be provided with what's been picked up with the 6 cameras that we currently had. So I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you. That is all we have for this evening.
All right.
Okay, our next regular board meeting will be July 13th at 3 p.m., not 5 p.m. or 5:30. July
yes,
13th at 3 p.m. You can get I move to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Oh, and we hope to see you at the parade. Forgot
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
and don't forget the parade, July 4th. Tuesday, July 4th, the parade starts at 10,
10
right?
or, yeah, the road
But the-
closes at
but there's the
9:30.
kids' fun run this year.
Yes.
Steve, tell us all about it. 9:45.
Thank you.
You get to run up Beachmont Avenue. Never happens.
What day is it?
Tuesday, July 4th.
July 2nd.
Tuesday, July 4th.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does this have a cat? Oh, it does.
It does. See how
I see it.
distinctive
Cute. I
pins.
did.
Can take
No one's gonna steal